So about 2.5 years ago, I was skiing in Vermont. But at the end of the day, I had some very painful areas in my lower back. I let it go for a little while. It just got worse and worse and worse to the point where I couldn't walk. And I went to get an MRI. And when I got the MRI, it showed 3 bulging, protruding, blown out discs in my lower L5, S1, L4, L5, L3, L4. So I could barely walk. It was the most excruciating pain that I've ever experienced in my life. I lived like that for months and months and months, going through the normal therapies of, over a period of 18 months, I had 8 shots of epidural cortisone in my spine. I had 3 to 4 rounds of the drug called prednisone, which is extremely powerful. It screws up your system in many ways. And I went through 3 rounds of physical therapy. So I had another MRI, and it just showed it was getting worse. I couldn't walk, I couldn't go to work, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't throw up my 3-year-old child in the air and play with her, so it was excruciating. I went to a holistic doctor in my area. He talked to me about diminishing the inflammation in my body, and he put me on an anti-inflammatory diet. But when I told him my lifestyle, about my businesses, my stress levels, my inner dialogue, he suggested a book, and the book was called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. It made an enormous amount of sense to me. It was science. I have an analytical mind, and it resonated so loudly to me. The science of chemicals in your brain, in your body, and how pain works and messages work, as well as he gets into the physics of cells and neurons and atoms, and then he discusses meditation at the second half of his book, which explains how the brain and how the physics of meditation can change your body, change your brain. And so I continued to meditate. So I meditated for a while. It was different for me. It was hard to understand. It was a learning curve. I went to a Dr. Joe Progressive, and the Progressive was very informational and helpful for me to understand the process of meditation and how to do it and become better at it and practice at it. So I was doing the work. I still had the back pain. So excruciating back pain. So what I did is I sought out the best surgeon in the Northeast, and I went to the hospital and I said, I need you to fix me. What can you do for me? So he looked at my MRIs, and he said, all right, I can open you up, slice you down the back. I can go in there and laser and take off bone spurs. And in about 8 weeks, you should be back to normal. And I said, well, can I do martial arts? Can I ski? Can I golf? And so his response to me was limited. And he said, well, I'm not so sure. I wouldn't go that far. It's a lot of rigorous on your body. So I walked out of there and I said, it wasn't the response I wanted, and I didn't feel like that's what I wanted to be cut open to just be unsure of what I can do in the future. Although I was looking in the future like, what the hell am I going to do with the rest of my life? I was depressed, I was upset, I was just spiraling because I'm a mover, I do a lot of things, and I really couldn't do anything. So next few weeks, I called the teleclass. I got on the phone with Dr. Joe. I said, what do you think, man? Should I get the surgery, or should I heal myself? Or can I heal myself? Do you think I can heal myself, Dr. Joe? And he was like, yes, you can heal yourself. Oh my God, he was just so passionate about, because he had done this with so many patients, and it just blew me away about his passion about it and his convincing message to me that I can heal myself through meditation, through changing my mind, and through creation and manifestation. So then I was on the path of healing myself, and I did this. I followed Dr. Joe's practices for about 3 to 4 months. So this is where it gets a little crazy. on how the healing unfolded. And so when I meditated, I would envision a woman named Mary. And during this meditation, I would envision a woman going like this, just like this, taking my discs and pushing them back in. All three of them, pushing the discs back in on the sides, like they were Play-Doh, and putting them in and making them perfect again. So I envisioned that for 3 or 4 months, all the while excruciating pain, depression, not being myself, not being alive. And after 3 or 4 months, I ran into a woman named Mary. And it was amazing. So Mary was a healer. And she told me that she could heal me. But she worked with me for about 3 or 4 or 5 months. And she healed me. She healed me by manual therapy and her hands. Her hands healed me in a very holistic way. So after 3, 4, 5 months, I was continued meditating to become healed, and worked with her twice a week. And then I was healed. I was back in a martial arts dojo, kicking a heavy bag as hard as possible that would shake the building. And I'd play golf. I did everything that I thought I could do. I could throw my baby up in the air and let her land in my arms. And it was just amazing. So the manifestation of Mary and the healing and the success of that is all because of Dr. Joe and his teachings and meditation and what it can do.